Tavern with me everywhere I go, and I'm with my lovely guest.
Food plug, Wavy.
Yes, we are out here. And thank you so much for coming out. He just flew in and he gave me the time before he gets into the kitchen. And he does something that I absolutely love because I love food. He's a chef. So, other than before we get started into what he does, as you know, the segment is I Am Who. So we will start to dive right into you giving us either in a couple of words or in a statement who you are, but changing that question to just a statement of who you are. I am who?
I am Food Plug Wavy. I am an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I am a businessman. You know, I do the whole cooking thing. I cater, sell plates, do private bookings, everything you can name in the food industry.
It's big. Okay, so that's a lot of who you are because it is what you do. But when you kind of let's get a little bit deeper, another layer of who you are.
I am from Miami, Florida, born and raised. I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia. Came out here to do this interview with 808 Tavern. But you know, a little bit more about me, you know, I'm into music, I'm into creating things, I'm into designing things, I'm into cooking.
Okay. So now we're gonna kind of roll over directly into what you do, but before we do, give one word to describe who you are when you take away all of the things that you are a part of. Creative. That's a good one. That's awesome. Thank you. So now tacking that onto what you do, you mentioned some other things outside of your food network that you do.
Yeah.
So first, before we get into the other endeavors, go in detail of your story when it comes to why you became a chef.
Oh, so I got into the food industry. Like, I was working at Hartsville-Jackson, Atlanta airport. Shout out to them, give me the opportunity. But look, I was working out there, right? And it was one day I brought food randomly to work just as lunch. Cause if anybody know, if you buy food at the airport, you know they charge an arm and a leg and a kidney. So it's like, I brought food and people used to see me eating the food, and then one person had me like, where you got that from? And I was like, I made it. So somebody requested me to make an order for them. And then after that, it's just, I've been cooking ever since, honestly. I haven't worked regular 9 to 5.
Since then?
Yeah, like continuous now. I haven't worked that in a while. But it's been going on since for about I started in 2018 and started taking over toward the end of 2019. So that's when I got real serious with it, you know.
So yeah, what kind of food, what kind of things can people expect when they're ordering from you?
You know, what you can expect from me, like normally when I sell plates, I do like different type of, it'll be American, Caribbean. Sometimes I jump into Spanish a little bit, but it's different things. So some of my top sellers, cheesesteak, egg rolls, I call those plug rolls. Spaghetti, people love spaghetti for some reason, people love it. Well, what else? Chicken Alfredo, shrimp Alfredo, pasta, you know, there's a lot of different things I bring to the menu though. Wings, sliders, it all depends though, but honestly, there's a lot of different things.
So you got a well-rounded menu.
Exactly.
Then.
So
that's good.
And then you feel me, so.
You do desserts?
I was about to say that I offer desserts on my plate. So I do private bookings and all that too, but most time when it comes to private bookings, people request a certain menu, but I have a consistent menu when I do sell plates. And every meal comes with a dessert and a drink. That's what set me apart. You know, because most people be out here just selling regular food and then you gotta buy the dessert. Well, I just give you a package combo deal.
I love that because that definitely sets you apart from many other chefs. So when it comes to balancing that in your lifestyle, now that that's your primary thing, like you were saying, do you have any other things that kind of you have to balance in with that, or? You
know, like you gotta balance because that's a business life, right? But you also gotta balance personal. So now, like perfect example, right? So say if you gotta go to a funeral, right? But you have a booking that same day. So now you gotta think like, damn, you feel me? Like you lost somebody and you're like, damn, you gotta go do that. But at the same time, you gotta make ends meet. Because now if you're not making money off your business and doing what you're doing because you're an entrepreneur, then what you gonna have to fall back on?
Right.
You feel me? So now it's one of those things you gotta make time for personal. Now personal can consist of relationships, family, whatever, if you got whatever other half or whatever, and you gotta make me time. So me time is like getting your car service, you feel me? Working out, whatever it may be, me time. So you just gotta know how to you really got to make one of those little round circles and create a pie, and you got to divide everything up. Really though.
I like that. Do you think you goal oriented? Do you believe you are goal oriented, and do you believe you go by schedule, or do you how do you think you function on a day-to-day basis?
I think sometimes I go with the flow, but at the same time I have goals in mind, and I just happen to reach these goals when I go with the flow because I just believe that things happen how it should happen for you.
Naturally.
So you can write down things, but you never know what's gonna go on in the future for you to block that, mess that up.
That's so true.
So that's what I say, with making it personal and then making it business. So it's when you're trying to decipher through things to make sure that you got time for everything. You feel me? So, but yeah.
You do feel like you schedule a little bit, have an agenda?
Like lately, before I wasn't, but lately I feel like, because if you're doing it the right way, God, He gonna make sure that you feel me?
Start to get organized and have a structure.
He gonna either force you or organize. It's gonna be certain things you go through that's gonna force you. Like, all right, you see, you went through this last time, so now this time you better organize it.
That's true. I definitely can relate with that because there's plenty of times where I've been trying to balance certain things in my life, but then having to remember my priorities and that I have to still pay bills and So yeah, being an entrepreneur / creator, how would you kind of feed into, because do you have if you feel like speaking on your personal life, do you have a family? Do you have...
Oh yeah, well I have a family I don't have no family like a child and a wife or a girl. Now I'm single, but at the same time I got family. Important. Exactly, I got family like a mom, my sister, brothers, you feel me, cousins, aunts. Yeah, I got family like that. So now I got to make time. You feel me?
Right, because you don't want to neglect those major people in your life. That's like your support system.
And that's like a practice role for when I create my own family. So now, all right, if I'm making time for my immediate family, I'm making time for them. So when I create my family, and now I know how to budget in time and be like, all right, you call it, you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, but at the same time, you still got to make time for your family because there's you get different titles, a business owner, entrepreneur, and all that, but then later on in life, people become parents, so you got to just take on different
roles to your lifestyle.
You become a better half, you become a whatever.
Right. So if you were to be approached then in that case, because there's always many people that watch these things and learn from different people, especially in the creative entrepreneur realm. So say as though it's somebody not just from our generation, but generation before us and the after us. Yeah. People that admire what you do and want to know if you can pour something into them to give them some form of encouragement or understanding on how to get off the seat and start walking into what it is they're trying to do. How would you encourage them? What kind of words would you give them?
I say honestly, people had it behind, but believe in yourself. That's the first step. Cause if you don't believe in yourself, then how you expect other people to believe in you?
True.
So it's believe in yourself and understand you got to be consistent and you got to put in work because nothing will come to it. Sleep.